I've now been in the era where a lot of things have come through, where there's more like pride movements and more acceptance, and generally, there's still always things that we're going through and dealing with, but this is all still fairly new, and especially growing up in a small conservative town, all of the things that I kind of looked to for, I don't know, just sort of some of that representation was never happy. You see it as like a film major now. I've studied this and I've seen it everywhere, where most of the films you saw, especially for queer representation, ended up with a lot of like heartbreaking endings, and just like there was not a happy future for queer people in a lot of media, and so a lot of the things that I've over time made has always been the things that I would wish to see, and especially in my art.
Good morning. So, figured I'd show a little bit of what I've learned on this guitar. Still thinking of a name. That's a work in progress, but that's for future things. So let's try this. Don't write yourself up yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Just do your best. Do everything you can. And don't you worry what the bitter hearts are gonna say. Yeah, so there's that one.
Now this book that I have here is a little different. This is more just sort of like some of my expression, and I drew all over this for fun just because I wanted to draw a bunch of little random things and make it creative, and I have lyrics, but this book specifically tracked sort of a lot of just my transition as a non-binary person, my experiences. Sorry that I lost faith. What am I supposed to say? Every day in and day out, heads crash against the waves, scraping for your love in a bucket that's run dry. Believing is for the sinners, and believe me, I'm no saint. There's no excuses for the turmoil, like a lateral damage of a promising city gone wrong. Shed the cloak you threaded with gold. Religion built, your religion is bold. He was a young boy, had a heart of stone. Lived 9 to 5 and he worked his fingers to the bone. Just barely out of school, came from the edge of town, felt like a switchblade so no one could take him down. Had no money, no good at home, walked the streets of So this was the start of my testosterone. I was so excited to take them that I actually like added all the little band-aids and marked them, and I aligned this with the dates that I had set up for the hospital appointments. Let's see, I wrote this about sort of like, this is just my experience, and you'll see that I even included I want to allow myself some freedom, and that's one of the characters that I've ended up making in one of my stories that you'll see here.
Okay.
And then
Bear with me. So that's kind of like practice stuff. It's not great, but I can play some things like
So this is my second book. This is my more personal and sort of story writing one. But always for the first page, which is what we have right here, is usually something that's very important to me, or sort of marks like a new era, I'd say, of sketchbooks. And I actually used this drawing on social media to come out as non-binary. Yeah, so this was, and it was kind of based off of, actually, my teacher gave me a prompt of sort of, we were reading Frankenstein, and the question was sort of, draw your own, like, creation or monster, and I asked if I could make sort of something based on, like, what makes me feel outcast in that way, and sort of like a creation, and that's how this kind of came about. And yeah, I just realized I wanted to come out with it, and that was that. But as for the rest of this, there's a lot of original characters who I make. There's usually a lot of bright colors and just very, yeah, a lot of creative outfits, just because I make a lot of different worlds and places in which these sort of like queer characters just exist happily. These are two characters, Gerard and Starboy, which is a story I've been working on for about 2 years now. And one of the main characters, Gerard, is trans. Yeah, they kind of follow, there's a lot of different stories that I've made for this, and you'll see a little bit later some of the characters that I've put into it. But the concept of this story is that they live in a dystopian future, not too far from now, where technology has advanced so much that transitioning and sort of changing yourself has become a normal thing more than abnormal. And dealing sort of with, you know, what if you don't want to sort of be in that world and accept who you are without having to change all these things. And it's, yeah, I just play a lot with sort of this idea as a metaphor for sort of like the queer struggles, and putting it, yeah, where normal people can sort of just like, and I say normal lightly, but can sort of understand that concept. And which this one is the biggest projection that I have of these characters. This is Freedom, where it's a genderqueer character, gender fluid, actually, to be exact. And you can see here that I did some storyboarding for a film that I made my senior year of high school. Got it, 18 in life, you know, your crime is time, and it's 18 in life to go. 18 in life, you got it, 18 in life, you know, your crime is time, and it's 18. I've been down with the beggars and the thieves and the liars, wishing God put the lying dogs down. I have to scroll all the time. God acts as the devil's advocate in church, and Lyndon ironically knows if you're not like us, the city will get to you first. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? I've been down with the beggars and the thieves and the liars, wishing God put the lying dogs down. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? I've been down with the beggars and the thieves and the liars, wishing God put the lying dogs down.